The big bad Big B is back! This is Screenplay Daily News! I'm Nick, I'm very tall, I have damn hands, and I love yelling! This isn't gonna work, is it? It's Friday the 21st of July. Pete and Nick are out in a shoot somewhere, so I'm doing the news by myself with Will. We're having a news party, isn't that right, Will?
Yeah!
Yeah! Oh, look at him go, spill that water.
Oh no!
He spilled it on it. Whoa, he spilled it on it. It's getting so crazy. Okay. Here's what we've deemed newsworthy. Telltale have announced 3 of its upcoming episodic games, with many people surprised that The Wolf Among Us was among them. Based on Bill Willingham's comic book series Fables, The Wolf Among Us follows the stories of classic fairy tale characters set in a grim film noir style setting. The reveal video made it clear that this sequel has come about due to significant fan support. So I didn't really expect to enjoy the first game because being a bit of a fantasy snob, I don't really get into fairy tales that much, but the film noir setting really grabbed me actually. I think it just kind of paints this really grim picture of the world. And it's one of those really classic Telltale experiences where you try to pick the lesser of two evils, but there kind of isn't one, so you end up always doing something that pisses a bunch of people off, and I just really love that. So I'm actually not surprised that it's getting a sequel because the choices that you had to make were really tough and the characters were quite unique and surprisingly complicated. There's no release date as yet, but it is slated for the second half of 2018. In other news, talk about a soft launch, Xbox have very quietly launched their Creators Program for Xbox One. 5 self-published indie games have been released, and the best way to find them is by searching for their titles, as they don't currently exist in their own subsection of the marketplace unless you're an Alpha Ring Xbox insider. The ACCC is cracking down on telecommunications companies misleading customers over broadband internet speeds. More Australians are shifting to the government-owned NBN, which is causing tensions between telcos and customers over the reality of their download speeds, particularly in peak evening times. By the end of the year, the worst offenders will face prosecution. Here's something I bet you've been desperately asking for, a TV show based on the popular smartphone Scrabble game Words with Friends. Wait, no? You haven't been asking for that? Well then why the hell is one getting made? I guess in a world of emoji movies, no one can really know anymore. Zynga is teaming up with MGM to create a game show based on the app, and I'm sure it's going to be great. Look, what do I know about game shows really? For all I know, it's gonna be a hit. Turtle Rock Studios, the devs behind Left 4 Dead and Evolve, are releasing a tie-in game for the upcoming Blade Runner movie. The game, titled Blade Runner 2049 Replicant Pursuit, will be a VR on-rails shooter in which you pilot a spinner in search of sneaky replicant robots. On other screens, the writers and directors for the new Mega Man movie have been found, and they are the directors of the Catfish documentary. What? Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman, who also directed Paranormal Activity 3 and 4, are in final negotiations to write and direct the as-yet untitled film. So, I loved Catfish. There was a lot of speculation as to whether or not it was real or contrived, but I think ultimately it was a story grounded in a real experience, and I thought it was great. But then they made this really shitty MTV show that was obviously all set up, and it just seemed like a massive cash-in and really, really lame, so I kind of hated them all after that. So how do you go from that to making the Mega Man movie? Like, what's the jump there? I guess it's Paranormal Activity 3 and 4. I actually don't know that much about Mega Man except that he's blue and he has like giant rocket feet, so maybe they'll make a masterpiece. Well, that's it for today's news, but now it's time to continue the party, right, Will?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! What are the people doing houses?
Also this Sunday at 11:30 AM, Screenplay will be broadcasting Australia versus Sweden in the Overwatch World Cup group stage, live on 7 Mate. It's pretty exciting because we're the first commercial network ever to do so. 3:30 PM today, Nick will be back, and we'll be answering some of your questions live on our Facebook page for Answer. Hope to see you there. I'm Steph, and I'll see you every weekday for the rest of your lives. I'm gonna leave you with this fantastic video of dad reflexes and also potentially questionable parenting choices. I think so anyway.
What the fire truck?
Dad said what's in the fire truck? What's the fire truck? He has no shoes on.
He didn't have any shoes on.
That's why you said what in the fire truck?
That is why I said what in the fire truck.
Star Wars films are unshackled and unplanned. And if you've watched them, you can tell. Oh, Pete shake his head behind the camera. He's so angry. She's angry too. I'm in a room of fans.
Yeah, it's a crazy party. Let's throw some, oh, we don't want to break that. Crazy, push that over. Stop.
Raise the alt is never.